Dao. Ga. Hello and welcome to today's episode of I Am Drummer. And today, I'm going to show you how I tune a snare drum in a particular way. This is one method I use. I use this on a frequent basis. So, this is how I tune a drum. Everyone's asked, well, not everyone, two people maybe, have asked me how I tune my snare drum. So this is one method I use, where we use two drum keys, which I have sitting here. But, you know, for the moment, let's go through the drum. It is a DW black iron snare drum, 10 lug. So that's 10 rods up top, 10 rods down the bottom. It's fantastic. It's running an Evans UV1 coated head, and I'm still running the stock wires and stock head on the bottom too. It's detuned the top. Yeah, hear that? Let's see how it sounds as of now, I guess. It's different. It's not bad. I mean, if you wanted that meat pie, you know, cricket bat to the meat pie, or baseball bat, or whatever, what do you want to call it? Fat, creamy, beautiful, low end sound. This could be what you're after. Let's give it a bit of a play. It's not my cup of tea. I like a good strong cup of tea, by the way. Anyway, let's go through the tuning method I use for the two key method, or tuning method, I guess you can call it. Let's flip the drum around. It's a heavy one. All right. Let's slide that under the mic. Now, bit of a trick, bit of a secret while I scratch my back. Let's get a drum key. Another drumstick. Can't have too many drumsticks. And let's just turn these wires off. What we do is I like to just put a stick to isolate the snare wires from the bottom head. Okay, all right. Now this has still got some tension on it. So what we do is we get the two keys. I'm just going to detune it down to basically flappy paddle. Get it nice and loose. So the reason why we use two keys is so we can try and get it taut evenly, or as evenly as possible. If you don't have two keys, there is another method, and that's perfectly fine. There's no real right or wrong way to tune a drum head, or tune a drum, sorry. It's not rocket science. Now, I know you're going to think, hey, I can't tune a drum. I probably can't tune a drum either, but, you know, having said that, some people struggle. But it really is not that difficult. As long as you understand one kind of fundamental rule, which I learned many years ago from actually a few drummers. No drum head is perfect, no drum is perfect. Because they're made by humans. Even though some of them, they're still machine made, there's a human element to them. And also, don't forget, no room is perfect. You can tune this drum perfectly. You take it from a nice warm room to your cold car, you get to a gig, it's not in tune anymore. Temperature plays a big factor as well. So it's pretty, not toasty in here, it's about 22 degrees I think. It's a bit warm for me, but anyway, let's tune this drum up. Okay, so two drum keys. Okay, let's start with, I'm not going to start with the snare bed just yet, let's start with the opposing lugs right in front of us. Let's make sure they're loose. They're completely loose. All right. So you just want to start to feel a little bit of tension under the fingers. Now, you can use tune bots. You can use drum waders, drum, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Tension watches, whatever. They're great tools to learn how to tune a drum. But for me, it's about fingers and it's about your ears. It's the most important thing you have on your body is your ears. So we like to just do a kind of, you know, if just get that, build that tension up. Okay. We'll do maybe one whole full turn. As I said, there is no right or wrong. You just want to try and get it as even as possible. All right. So now we're doing one full turn roughly. I'm not being perfect here. I'm not aiming for perfection right now. Okay. You'll start to hear the head come up in tone. Okay, that's really important. Okay, this is where your ears really come into play. Alright, so we just want to. Alright, so let's give it a bit of a finger test. We're going to isolate the batter head. Got some tone, but it's still really low. So let's just keep going. We'll start going quarter turns. Where are we here? Yep, quarter turn. Yep, that's right. Okay. Let's go full turns. Let's go full turns. Or half turns, sorry. You can get a little. Microphone being in the position it's in is not helping. All right, so it's getting pretty high. Now that's about, I would say, that's actually not far off where I might like it. But yeah, I'm thinking, let's just go a quarter turn on each lug now. I want to bring it up just a little bit more. And I do have a little bit of a secret that I use. And when I say it's a little bit of a secret, it's not really a secret. I'll show you what that is in a second. Most people go, oh, you know, what's that black magic you use on that drum when you tune it? It's actually nothing secret at all. So you can actually hear. We don't want to hit too hard with the key, but you can use your finger. You can use a mallet, but I just use the drum key because I'm also staying away from the bearing edge. Hear the tone difference? Now, this is where I would take the two keys and go to one. And you just want to get it as close as possible. Hear that one's higher. Now you can bring it down, but when you bring it down, you want to go past the point where you think it is and bring it back up. So. Hear the pitch difference? Now, this is the trick I use. It's still not perfect. It's not 100%. And I'm not aiming for perfection because it is literally impossible. You want to get as close as possible. I bring up the snare beds a little higher. And the reason being, and I go opposites first, because the snare beds need just that little bit more tension. See how they're a little bit different? Now that drum head, as you could say, it sounds a lot like a timpani. Right, it's pretty close. It will need some tweaking. So let's take that stick out, get rid of that, and let's flip this baby over. Let's do the top head. That sounds great. All right. Two keys. Bring it up to finger tension. You go, all right, cool, yep. About there. One whole turn. Finger tension, yeah, bit finger tight, one whole turn. You can hear it starting to come up. About there, finger tension, one whole turn. Now I do this pretty quickly. And I'm going to admit to you right now, I'm really slack at changing my drum heads. I have a Yamaha kit that's in the cases in the corner. I haven't changed heads since about 2004. As I said, really slack. Alright, we're already getting to a nice tension. And you know what? What I want to do is I want to go around, dampen the head. There. A little higher. Yeah, a bit more. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it back up again. That went up. Can I get to a point where can I start to mess with it a little bit? Give it a hit. Now here the overtone is a nice even tone. It's not obnoxious, it's not obtrusive. It actually sounds somewhat musical. I did say somewhat. Alright. Let's see where this is. Get a stick. Now you hear how there's no honk, there's no, as Arnold would say, "Dao" or "ga." You know, there's no obnoxious or obtrusive overtones. It actually sounds kind of I did say kind of pleasant. So, while it's wide open, there's no muffling. Let's turn the snare wires on and give this baby a crack. Now you can hear those wires. They're a bit loose. Now, let's talk about snare wires. I hope you're doing this with me. I hope you are. Anyway, let's talk about snare wires and tension. I like to have my snare wires on the looser side, so not too loose. So this is loose. It's pretty loose. They're barely touching. Bring up a little bit more. Kind of flapping in the wind, aren't they? I like to say, if a seagull farts and the snare wires move, they're too loose. But it's all personal preference. Now you see, I'm here how I'm just touching the drum. It's still not making great contact. So what I like to do is bring them up a little bit. Let's take it too far and see what happens. Oh geez, it's tight. Alright, we're getting tighter. Let's really crank this up. Alright. Now, can you hear that kind of that honk? We've started to choke the drum. There's one benefit to choking a drum, and that is when you're doing double strokes or ghosted notes, they can sound really articulate and really tight. I like to have mine just backed off a bit. To me, this is a little bit too tight. So, hear that? Now I've just backed it off maybe a quarter turn. and that's about it. To me, this is where the drum wants to be. People can tune drums and go, oh, my drums sound like this, and that's great, that's fantastic. I tune my drums to where the drums want to be. There's a point where the drum doesn't want to resonate, or it might resonate too much. I like my drums to have a nice, solid note. That's it. I go, hit the drum, go, that sounds brilliant. There's no huge overtones I can't eliminate with a little bit of moon gel or Evans EQ pods. I like to have a little bit of dampening if I need it, but on toms, I'm pretty much exactly where the drum speaks to me, where it wants to be. So in terms of snare drum, to me, this is pretty much where I would actually have this tuned anyway. It's actually pretty much spot on. There is an overtone though, and I'm not a huge fan of overtones. So, anyway, let's get one of these EQ pods out. Here we go. And whack it on, whack-a-doodle. And I like to put it roughly about 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch from the head, or the rim, sorry. But I like to move it around too. So there's a little bit of overtone there, which is great. Now, that overtone is pretty much gone. That sounds great. But now the snare wires are a little bit funky, and there's a little bit of an odd honk to it. This is why it's all personal choice. Ooh, nice little bit of overtone there. I don't want to kill the sound too much, but move things around. Yeah. Ooh, that's not bad. Well, anyway, that's how I tune a snare drum, using 2 keys. I don't tune it to be absolutely perfect. I never have. Probably never will. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Thanks for sticking around and being patient while I sort out my audio issues, which has been a good adventure. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can completely ignore my videos. Anyway, I will talk to you all very, very soon.